See a business and it looks like a really good business, but it needs cash and they won't allow me to leverage the way I want to. Can I use crowdfunding to essentially
Absolutely.
get people to come in and put up the cash?
Sure. Yeah, especially, so what you do is you go into a local community and you can do it nationwide also, but one of the things that you do when you show the business, whatever kind of business it is, you show how getting the funding for that purchase is going to benefit the community. And it's a community involvement project. Like, okay, now you're as the owner, and in the future you'll actually be able to sell equity in that deal. But now what you're doing is you're almost like pre-selling people donating money, but they're going to get a coupon to be able to come to the restaurant or use the services of the business when it's ready to go. So there's different ways to do crowdfunding, but it's so amazing because the crowd, if you tell the right story, buys into it and they start sending you capital. And there's thousands and thousands and thousands. Just Google Kickstarter, Google crowdfunding, you'll see the amazing stories of people. There's people that have raised $10 million on crowdfunding. They go out for 100 grand and it just goes wild, and all of a sudden there's 250,000 sitting there. The guys from this guitar thing, they didn't start to go for 250. They started to go, I think it was 35,000, and then boom, they hit it. And then they said, well, let's take more. And then they got to 100, then they got to 150, then they got to 200. It was amazing,
Can people screw this up?
Sure.
By not doing it the right way. That's part of what we're teaching, right?
Absolutely. Look, if you
way.
don't have, you got to have the story, you got to have the video, you got to have, the perfect pitch. You're not going to get it if you don't have the perfect pitch.
It's like pitching to him to go on TV, but now you're pitching to a crowd who wants to give you money.
Right.
Do you all understand that you need the perfect pitch?
Yeah.
Do you think he's the man?
Yes.
He's the man. He's been doing it for 30 years. There's nobody better, right? I learned from him. You ought to learn from him. There's nobody better.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're very welcome.
Yeah.
All right. I got time for one question from the audience.